Good morning, good morning. It is time for office hours. I am here ready to answer all of the fun questions. So we're getting ready to go. Exciting times. Good morning. Hi.
Well, hello.
Oh, I am making you a co-host.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah. I like the
Hi.
coat. That's good.
Hello.
Oh, I have a replay going at the same time. It's streaming on YouTube.
Removing note takers, removing note takers. I'll take care of you. You don't need to worry about it.
Yeah, I don't do the report to Zoom because then it like reports it as
No,
spam, but
that's
like
silly.
yeah.
Jim, come on in, Jim. Come on in, Jim Blakemore. Come on in.
Hello, hello, hello.
Well, look
Hi,
who
Jim.
it is.
Marissa, thank you so much for calling and telling me that. I was right in the middle of a lunch meeting, so I really couldn't talk. Is that
Oh no, it's okay. I just wanted you to know.
I
Like,
will fix that as soon as we're done with this thing.
yeah, no, not a problem. I just thought, well, heck, I would want to know, right?
Yes, ma'am. And you are an amazing lady. Tink you very much.
Should I put us in a classroom today?
Oh, look at that.
How exceedingly weirdly
All three of us
entertaining.
in this huge
I
classroom.
think I think I'm
I
not gonna
don't
do
want to sit
anything.
next to you, however. Can I move my seat?
I feel like I'm in law school.
I feel like I should be goofing off. I never
I'm
sit. I would sit in the back row.
silly kid. Oh my gosh. Oh
Ta-da!
my gosh. That's all good.
Why is Jim tiny? Why is it a tiny Jim? Okay, there's well, there's a bigger Jim. Never
Tiny Jim. I love
mind. He just leaned back and looked like tiny Jim.
Tiny Jim. Yeah, so
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
not
last week I was in that chair that I was in a hotel room, and that chair was broken. And every time I leaned back, it looked like I was asleep, and somebody would kill my camera.
oh. I could do this too if I really wanted to.
Oh, oh, that's fun because you're in the front of the class.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave it and not
Oh
say.
wait, I can't wait for Brooke to join and see what seat Brooke gets.
Let's
Where's Brooke gonna sit? Brooke, join the video so we see where you sit.
Probably won't join video, but I am here.
Oh,
Oh, boo, just for half a
boo.
second. Look at the
Boo.
classroom.
That's fine. I don't want to sit next to Brooke either.
So good. That's so funny.
Oh my gosh, it
Am
is
I
very
allowed to eat my sandwich in class?
you
We allowed
can
to eat in the classroom because I got a
you can
sandwich.
eat in the classroom. I did teach a webinar like this last week, and it was very funny because people were like, it was so jarring. People didn't expect it. So,
I
mm,
always forget to use the silly ones. I haven't seen this one before, though, I will say.
yeah. I mean, there's probably like, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of different ones we can do, but it's very, very, very silly. And I like silly, you know? I mean, we could be in the boardroom if you really wanted. We could do that.
Here, I'll go on to I'm on the last one.
Yeah.
Hey, there she is. Hello.
Hello.
But
That's
this okay? This format's all right if there's just a handful of us today.
yeah, it's just the four of us. Let's hang out. What?
Really?
No. I always feel like
It's
people it's like
everybody.
oh wait, we're gonna surprise Baron. So let's go back to the classroom and just like not say anything and welcome him.
I'm gonna get way back here and be.
Jim's trying to make himself tinier. That's okay.
No, it's little Jim again.
Wait, where's
A
Baron?
little Jim.
It's so funny. Baron, you need to turn your video on to join our classroom.
Welcome, welcome to your learning lab.
Dad.
Wait, why is
Why
this
did they
video up top? Why is
Oh,
Baron up top?
he's probably in a different version of Zoom. So like it doesn't.
Boo.
How do I get your fancy version?
maybe
Are
I
you
can
on your phone or are you on a computer?
Computer?
let's see. Let's try
This
again.
is so cool.
There he
I
is.
love it.
There he is. Got it. Welcome to class. So,
Oh my
so
goodness.
for any of you that have never used this version of Zoom, on the upper right-hand corner, if you have a paid version, it's called Immersive View. So like they invented this during COVID to make it feel more connected and personal or just like fun. And I kind of like it personally. Like I think it's fun because like I'm the teacher and I'm in front. So, hey man, it's 12:05. Let's go. If there's stuff to happen, great. If not, that's okay too, man. We're here. Jim's here. Jim gets perfect attendance, by the way. I think like what, every mastermind, even when he was sick, he came.
Yeah.
He was like zoomed in from his room. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember when Jim got COVID and I was we were shouting across Main Street at each other from balcony to balcony. In Park City.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Baron, I saw all this stuff for Kenya. That looks so cool. Or for Africa, whatever it was. It looks
Yeah.
neo.
Except I kind of want to be the troublemaker kid in the classroom and be like a in the back row corner. Aaron is perfect, front row, center, good student, teacher's pet right there.
Total teachers.
You see why Baron and I are friends? He didn't even know I already gave the whole spiel about wanting to sit in the back row earlier.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, this makes me want to be naughty, like sitting in a classroom again.
You just want to mouth off.
A little bit, a little bit.
You're in detention
I was like, can you, how long till Marissa kicks me out of class?
right now. No, it's
Put Aaron and me in the back upper corner.
I know a lot of people were getting ready to travel for Memorial Day and graduation's kind of all starting too. So it's fine. It's all good. So I can answer questions or I can bounce. It's all good. I'm here, you're here, we're committed. We're here together. So it's all good. I did have fun teaching last night. We had like 60 something people at the Better Business Bureau, and it was really
Well, that'll be my opening question to you because I know
Yeah.
we're recording content. We want to create
Yeah,
some things.
of
So,
course.
what was it when you were speaking in front of a broad group and diverse group
Yeah.
of people? What were you talking about last night?
So I did something different that I don't think I've ever done in terms of how I introduced myself to the room. But we did a lot of what I realized is AI is such an overwhelming thing for people and they're using it poorly. But also like people are very ineffective with the use of their time. So we were talking essentially about like people have a little bit of this resistance to building like a personal brand alongside their business brand, but it's the conversation really got to like what are the tactics that you can do or what are the things that you can do. And it was interesting, you know, when you have a group of people, like there was probably 5 people that were 0 to 1 million. There was probably, you know, 10 to 20 that were at the 1 to 3 million. And then there was like, you know, 25 plus that were at larger. But what's interesting is everyone thinks they're special and they're not. Everyone thinks that they're special and that their business is unique and special. And while it could be, the reality is if you Google your category, you can find out who else is there. People are resistant to doing the things that are necessary on platforms. And so they're doing things that are old school marketing and wondering why it's not working. And then the third thing is people are trying to chase trends instead of delivering value. And I think that's the biggest mistake is, yeah, you can do a fun dance and you can face a trend and you can do that. But there's a thing called short form content fatigue. And so what's happening is as people's like doom scroll, you know, like bed rotting and doom scroll, what happens is people's brains are actually changing because of short form content. You see it with attention spans. And there's a window right now where you can get someone from a short form video to a longer form video and they'll watch the 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 minutes because it feels good to their brain. It doesn't feel exhausting. So that's new. And so like I'm just telling everybody it's like get on YouTube even if you don't want to get on YouTube because if someone likes a 30 or 60 or 90-second clip, there's a chance that they're going to give you that longer. And here's what I noticed. So Aaron, we post like snippets of some of the talks that you did with Rico. I actually noticed that like from the short form content that we posted, we got like a couple hundred views that watched that interview that you did with Rico all the way through. So
Oh, like the
people are-
whole
But like they
35
watch like
minutes or whatever it was.
35 minutes, right?
Um,
So like that's just something that people haven't done or seen in a while. And so that just changes how people are scrolling. So I thought that was interesting and just showing people that. So I don't know. I think the myth is everyone thinks it's going to be short form forever, but I mean it is exhausting, you know, if you scroll enough, you have no attention span, you can't focus, you have 23 tabs open on your computer. So interesting stuff. I don't know. I think it's interesting.
Well, I
But
think it's important. It makes me think that recognizing patterns, recognizing behaviors, and then shifts, especially because you kind of open this with, not all marketing's working the same, right? And
yeah.
doing new things. But it's like human behavior changes along the way, along with our tools. It's
Mhm.
funny, it makes me think of weirdly. I saw an article or a quick little blurb yesterday on how scheduled programming is coming back. Right? Like all the weekly shows, like White Lotus was actually a recent example. Like 60% of viewership was on release day because they got back to release day,
Yeah.
right? Instead of just dropping content and here's the whole season and you could binge it. So it's interesting because that's what we grew up with, right? For us Gen Xers and beyond on the phone. Like we grew up
Mhm.
Thursday night, my show was on. Sunday night, my show was on, whatever. And so it's just a behavior shift, right? It's not anything in that. It's just the people side. So
Well,
cool
remember
to think about.
Friends? Like, so the final episode of Friends was watched by 52.5 million people. For context, it was like everyone watching at the same time. So if you look at like the Handmaid's Tale, it came out on Hulu, they're doing a drop once a week. They didn't drop the whole season. So they're doing that build because they know that like people want it. And not only are people watching it, but they're dealing with the commercials that are showing. So if you think about it and like the way that fashion comes back, I think it's the same thing in marketing and programming because there was a period where everyone was like aggressively binge watching, and now you're finding like people are like, okay, yeah, I want to see this thing, so I'm going to carve out time and I'm going to watch it in real time, which is great if you have anything of substance that you're trying to communicate with people. That means like all you have to have is a really good 90-second version of whatever it is you're talking about. And then people will go and listen to the longer, which I think is exciting. Like, I mean, for what everyone does, I think that's really cool. So. Oh
Well,
my God. Is that Bill in the background, James? I see it. That's funny.
Oh, that's another webinar on mobile home parks that I'm
Oh, okay.
recording.
Cool.
So
I was like, I think I know that. That's funny. I love it.
Jim's here actually today to teach us about multitasking.
Tasking, right? Aaron, where are you? Are you somewhere fun today? Are you like
me,
no, like
oh,
Baron, are you in
Baron,
Mexico? Or are you like
Yeah, I'm in Cabo.
oh my gosh.
In
I want to
Cabo.
be in Cabo. Can I come visit?
How's the weather right now, my friend?
It's perfect. Blue skies.
I'm coming out next weekend. Like literally, how is it? Is it warm yet? Still
Yeah.
cool?
Yeah, it's perfect. It's like 80, high 70s,
Oh wow.
mid 80s.
I'm gonna go be a sun lizard at the pool. That's my plan. So for a couple
Yeah.
weeks, couple days.
The
Sounds
sky
good.
is blue and yeah, it's perfect weather actually. Yeah.
So So what's funny is like when you think of weather and stuff, I think it's very funny that like Gen Z is very aware of, and this is like a trend that I noticed, and then I was asking my daughter about it. So like they pay attention to what the UV is so that they know when to go tan. It's very funny because never in my life did I like was like, I need to know what the UV is so I know if I can go outside and I'll actually get tan. But this is like proof though that like information finds its way to the right people. That's marketing, right?
That's
Somebody somewhere, and I think they traced the trend back to a sunscreen company that was talking about the right type of sunscreen to use based on the UV and then like tan. But I just think that's fascinating. Like, how does content influence your behavior? Like,
Mm.
oh, okay, I'm not going to go tan even though it's sunny because the UV is not great.
Weird.
I mean, I say this as someone that fully like put on like baby oil in like the 80s and 90s trying to get tan. So lucky I don't have But
For me, I might argue the values in that vitamin D, not in the UV levels. I just need to, get that solar recharge.
yeah, I feel like Brooke would be the expert on that. She knows.
Yeah, Brooke is in the background. She's like, I could school you all on all
Yeah,
things.
circadian rhythm.
Brooke's like, why are you even using sunscreen? It's terrible for you.
That's exactly what I would say.
I knew it.
But I think that's funny too, because again, like I kind of look at it like everyone should be, if you have any company of any kind, you should be consuming content at a minimum of a certain level of time per week to see what people are doing and what they pay attention to and what they respond to. So like I haven't done my newsletter in for a long time, but I reactivated it and I reactivated my blog and I'm just blogging things in real time. And what I'm noticing is like people will read the whole thing. And in my newsletter, I purposefully am not sending out like images, it's just all text. And the open rate is really big, which means like if you have a direct message, it doesn't need to be pretty, it just needs to be information. So I think that's interesting too.
All right. Let me ask you a question
Mhm.
from one of my clients.
Yeah.
Right. So on behalf of one of my clients, who Travis, in doing cybersecurity for
Sure.
all different types of companies out there. Shout out to Travis if you watch this later. So you talk about the need, how everybody, and I agree, how everybody should create content. We all should be on the internet. We should all be doing social content reels. We're talking short form, long form to get people engaged. However, if a company has a really defined avatar, let's say our customer is high volume hog farms. Yeah, pigs, right? And beef production and things like that. And when we get to it, there's a handful, like 100 in the country, right? So does that strategy still tie in? Does that still play? If I know, man, my avatar says there is a 200 people out there only that I'm looking to work with or types of companies. Do I still need to kind of create this content out there in that social media strategy, you think?
Yeah, I mean, I would tell you that like Halliburton still does content, like really niche organizations still do content because there's still the ability, like, great example would be in the event of a misstep, and I'm just going to say a misstep. Let's just say there's a PR crisis or a nightmare. If you haven't put out anything narrative wise about the brand that's positive, and you get hit with something that comes out of left field, well, now you're going to catch up because you've got to build the brand and you've got to build the narrative in real time, right? So part of it is the content type may change, but it's more probably going to be focused around awards, industry accolades, reaffirmation that you're top of a very small market, you're serving an elite group of people, so it's just more of the narrative spin. I mean, it's not like I would encourage them to do a ton of short form content, but there's
Okay.
got to be some educational case study if they are leaders in the
A lot
industry.
of it's supporting the branding, the positioning, the narrative, if you will.
Yeah, and it's again, the narrative architecture still stands, right? Like there's some people that don't like, I'll use Barron as an example, right? Done a lot of stuff, done a lot of things. Depending on how you came into Barron's world, you either know him as a New York Times bestselling author, you know him as Baptiste Yoga, you know him as like that, right? But if Barron wanted to create a different identity or a shift to just doing high-end facilitations for CEOs of companies that were 25 million and above, let's just say, he's got to re-narrative that architecture so that people know, oh, okay, it's not yoga, it's not this, it's this, right? So helpful because he's already got a footprint, but now he's got to pivot that to the direction he wants. And that's what I notice is like when people have certain types of brands that are like, oh, I only serve this, so I don't do any of that. Or I'm in cybersecurity, I don't want to touch that. Walter O'Brien would be a great one. I don't know if you guys know Walter O'Brien. He goes by Scorpion. He had like a television show that was about him. He's a genius. Helped solve and find the Boston Marathon hacker. Like that's who the government calls. So like even he has branding and he's in a space that's around security and cybersecurity. Even, Greg Reed had Edward Snowden come in. Do you remember that one, Jim Blakemore, when he had Snowden live stream into one of his events?
Yeah.
Talk about stuff.
I was
So, like,
there.
yeah, me too. So even like people that you wouldn't think everyone still has a percentage. It's just the level of amplification. So you might not need to do as much or as frequent, but it still needs to be there. Right. And that's the argument I get from a lot of like B2B companies of why would I do that? I run a software that I do blah, blah, blah. But it's like it still needs to be there.
Well, somebody convinced me with the simple conversation recently, just adding back and ping ponging now to the idea of social proof, right? Like, welcome to 2025. If you don't have social proof, I don't care. I don't care if you sold a company to Walmart. Like, if there's no social proofs, they like Aaron sold a company to Walmart. Kind of not there, right?
It's kind of like did the tree fall if nobody heard it?
Right.
Yeah, no, and I think too, like it took me a really long time to get comfortable with that, with the social proof. Like we just did a full rebrand, and like on our website, we actually just took every testimonial from LinkedIn and every place and put it on one page. It was really uncomfortable, but we like I did it in my way. So like the example would be everyone has to do it in their own voice. However you choose to talk about yourself is the way that you choose. But like for me, I can just share like I did like what are the receipts because that's what people want to know. And then it pulled in every single thing that anybody ever said about me. And then I had it pull in every single Google thing, right? And what we started noticing is when people come to the website, before they even go to the about or our services, that's the first place they go. So that's a behavioral indicator that people want to know that somebody else had a great experience with you, right? And so it's like you're nobody till somebody loves you, that you have to tell people that they love you. Yeah.
If I was in the chair still, in the classroom, then it'd be really appropriate. Me,
Yes.
Mr. Baptiste.
how did you pull up all those things that people said about you?
Okay, so there's two things that we do always that helps like and I'll just say always, meaning that I make a practice of regularly asking people to leave a review or talk about their experience. So like on LinkedIn, you have the capability, which some people know about, some people don't. You can ask for recommendations on LinkedIn, and I'll show that too. So you can ask, and I encourage everyone actually that's in this community, if you've worked with each other, let's help each other out, give each other a recommendation and review. And then what we did is we have a software that we used leveraging AI that just pulled in all of those recommendations. Same thing with Google. We have a Google My Business profile, and that Google My Business, and I can show you guys that too, so you visually have an indicator. We also pulled in every one of those testimonials. So there's all kinds of widgets you can use if you have courses or communities. There's even ones that you can do that are just video. I would argue video is a way more powerful testimonial experience than anything else because people seeing the visual. And I actually got that idea from Haas, our content guy. He was the one that said, Marissa, do some video testimonials on your Instagram profile so people can see that experience. But I'm going to show you right now. If you're on LinkedIn, this is my LinkedIn page. At the bottom of the LinkedIn section, you can go in here and ask your clients very simply to ask for a recommendation, and you can give a recommendation. So this is where most people they go, and you can kind of see that anyone that's leaving me a recommendation, people can validate that that's a real person, not a robot. They can see what company, they can see what people did. I like it because it shows the cross section of the different types of people that I work with. So, that's really great. And on the Google side, if we go to google.com, sorry, I just got a really cool keyboard, but it is very loud. It's an ASMR thing. I love it very much. If I put this in, you can kind of go over here and you can see the reviews that people are leaving over here. Hey, look, there's a review from Jane Blakemore. So like all this to say, there's tools that are available to you that allow you to do this work. And, for what it's worth, most people don't know that like you can pull this stuff into your website. They don't even think about asking. The most popular, I know, video platform that most people use is called Video Ask. if you run a business where video testimonials are going to be important, and that might be something like Jim for like what you're trying to do or some other people too, this is the platform, and it just gives you the ability to ask people to give you a video testimonial. So like if Baron, if someone had gone to program and you sent it to everyone that went to Iceland, then you compiled that and someone went to your page to see that journey into power and they scrolled down and all they saw was those videos, it would just be like, you'd be dumb to say no, right?
Yeah.
And
Good.
that's the way to leverage that. Although a lot of people think that, we overcomplicate everything. So I think sometimes we just forget to ask, right? Like, and I'm admittedly someone that has also forgotten to ask. I'm like, oh, okay, I need to ask people to leave a review for me. I need to actually proactively do that. But the widget that you can use, it's called Sociable Kit and it's free. So
What's it called?
it's called Sociable Kit. So I'm going to share that screen so we get that. Here's the name of it, Sociable Kit. And what you can do is it's like create a widget and you go in and you just say, do you want to pull in Facebook reviews or do you want to pull in calendars or videos or do you want to pull things in from Instagram? Do you want to pull in YouTube? Here's your Google reviews. And you can just literally, like what I did is I did my Google review, find your profile. So if I was going to do, I'll just give you an example, like with my own, and then you go to next, it's gonna go ahead and create that for me. And then it's gonna give me a code that I can put on my website. So
I'm going to
that's,
jump in. I'm going to pause you right there. Get to play host at least at the end of this half hour for
Yeah.
a moment. So we got a couple of tools that you shared with.
Mhm.
Let's go back through them. We got obviously go for everybody who's seen this recording now or later. You can go to your LinkedIn and you can directly ask your network for referrals. That's number one. It'll populate that content that can be pulled later. The second tool for the video referrals was ask.ai. Is that what it was called?
Video ask.
Video ask.
Mhm.
And then the last one on there, putting all together, was Sociable.
Kit.
Sociable Kit on there. So we can put all those in there. Jim, I saw you raise your hand. Let me ping it to you. Did you have a question?
Yeah, I have a question for Marissa. Is there, let's say I wanted to send an email to all you guys and, and everybody in my friends and family saying, hey, listen, I'm working on a new project. I need you to go to LinkedIn and just give me a referral or give me a recommendation. Is there a link? Can I put a link in that email that takes them directly to the
No, you
LinkedIn
have to
page?
tell them, you have to do that. You have to tell them
Okay.
what to do.
right.
So
But Jim, jumping in, you can use LinkedIn to send the request, which is actually more helpful because it's very helpful for Marissa's social proof. If somebody like me who has a LinkedIn profile, I'm already there, and then
Yeah.
you'll see it, Aaron, on there, and you give the referral. So maybe if you want LinkedIn, use the LinkedIn widget.
yeah,
Okay.
I would use the widget. I would also say that when you ask someone for a review, make it very easy for them to say yes. So there is a really great template. I'm going to go ahead and just drop it in the chat for everybody so that everyone has it.
I love
And you
it.
can
Copy paste it right from the chat. You only get it
Right.
if you're here.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's basically like, hey, hope all is well. Can I ask a small favor? For the first time, I'm trying to build my LinkedIn profile. Would you write a quick recommendation testimonial? Doesn't need to be anything long. 2 to 3 lines would be helpful. I'd appreciate it. P.S. Happy to write one in return. So like you can't ask people without offering it in return. Does that make sense? So like
Yeah.
that would like, but I would argue that my reviews and recommendations, because they come with so many different people, are the things that close people or get people to do what I want without me having to sell. Because people can go find their own experience. People are going to research, people are going to do that. So those are the tools.
All right. Well, I lied. If you're watching the recording, she just read the script, so steal it from there. So,
Yeah. But I'm not going to put
hi,
the
Carrie. Giving a
Guys,
shout out to Carrie. Thanks for joining us for lunch, Carrie. I was like, video's on. Carrie's like, fine, I'm eating, deal with it. But hey, good to see you. What's
hey,
up?
you can't copy out of the chat.
No?
Then you'll have to listen to the recording.
I don't know why, but I guess you've got it turned off so you can't copy out of the
Okay.
chat.
But a transcription will go out. We'll get it to you guys. No problem. In the real-
Perfect.
Good times. All right, we have a
Perfect.
minute to spare.
My
Does that
cat
help,
is
Baron?
like,
Does
perfect.
that help, Baron?
It's really good. I've
Yeah.
just been taking some notes.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that the marketing hack or the thing that I tell people is like, you don't even need a website if you're just starting out. You just need like an Instagram link and a Calendly link and a way to take people's money. People. Aaron knows we didn't have a full website and we had clients and stuff we were pulling in. So it's like we just had a place to direct people to, you know. But there was enough social proof out there, right? And you guys see it. I don't like posting the like magazine covers and all that stuff, but that's what people like. Like people are easy. They just want to know that somebody loves you before they decide to hire you. So
I have people reference verbally some of that social proof we've made over the few years you and I are working together, like the magazine covers, like in their opening meme, oh, saw you on Ink, this, that. Like, I don't know. That's the stuff that sticks.
today, someone bought Aaron's book and tagged him in it. He was at an event and they bought the book and they tagged him, right? That's social proof that people are buying your book. Like they liked what you said at an event. They went and made the purchase. That's why we're doing all this. Like, I mean, we want to help and inspire people, but also it's not volunteer work. It's not volunteer work.
Yeah,
Right?
Baron, you have so many super fans, right? Heck, I meet people that are my new friends and they're like, you know, Baron. And it's like, but
Oh,
the love on there, like to translate that into that social content, that social proof here, to take your, beloved, leaders that you often talk about that you've helped create. And then, that was the first thing Brett, our new mutual friend, said to me, Baron. He was so proud of it. He's like, I've trained over 200 people in Baron's program. That's the first thing he said to me. He's like, there's nothing compared to what Baron's done, but he's like, I'm really proud of that, right? And so it's like that impact to hear that verbal testimonial. Not that I needed it, but
Yeah.
the stuff's
but it's
awesome.
also it's a good reputation management strategy because if you drip these things out that people are saying about you that are really positive, we tend to pay attention to the 1% of the people that don't like us or have something bad to say. But if you can counter that with 99% of the population who loves what you do and talks about it actively,
Right.
it pushes other
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah.
But it's different. Like I've heard JD to talk to Carrie on the call. I've heard JD talk about how he's a wizard at running the numbers and finding the deals and buying the cars and like that side of the game, right? But that's cool. But to hear, I'll just keep using the stupid term here today, but the social proof from the other side of somebody talking about being on the receiving end of that experience or whatever, like I don't know. That's super, super, super impactful. I mean, I can tell you I'm great all day, but until someone.
yeah, I mean for sure. Well, it's
Anyways,
12:32.
all right. Well, hey, thank you. Half hour is come and gone from open conversation to bringing it into something. So was good. Good to see.
Awesome.
Good to
As
see those that are
always,
here.
great information.
Always. Cool. And I'm getting ready, man. It's going to be a busy couple months. I'm excited. We love everybody. Yay.
Wait to see
All right.
everybody in about a month.
Thank you.
That's
Bye.
the
Really
Have a good
good.
day.
Really
Bye.
enlightening. Take care.